Malaysia will begin easing coronavirus curbs from tomorrow, but only for fully vaccinated people. 3 states, Negeri Sembilan, Pahang and Johor, will also move to their next phases of reopening. The decision is based on the state's hospitalization rates, available intensive care unit beds and vaccination coverage. From tomorrow, mini markets, restaurants, malls and petrol stations can open until midnight. Interstate travel and domestic tourism will only be allowed once the national vaccination rate hits 90%. Currently, 80% of the adult population is fully vaccinated. It's estimated 90% will be reached by the middle of next month.
At the same time, Malaysia is taking action as COVID-19 infections surge among children. The government wants to vaccinate 3 million adolescents aged between 12 and 17 before school reopens next year. But as Melissa Go reports, many parents remain uncertain about their kids taking the shot.
I think I want to walk in more faster.
College student Muhammad Kushairi wants to get vaccinated to protect himself from the coronavirus. COVID-19 cases involving children below the age of 18 have surged past 400,000 so far this year. That's 32 times more than year 2020. And more than 60 children have died, compared with just 6 last year. The Ministry of Health has started inoculating students aged 16 and 17 with Pfizer vaccines this month. The target is to ensure 60% of adolescents received at least 1 dose by November and 80% fully vaccinated before a new school year begins in March next year. Response from parents have been mixed so far.
For me, so far, it's not good idea for the children. No, it's a bad. Because for our adults, we can't take the pain. When we get a second dose, it's a get more worse. We get a fever and all. I don't know how the children can take it, the pain.
Schools in Malaysia are reopening in phases next month for face-to-face lessons.
Although stricter SOPs are in place, including a rotational system to reduce the size of the classrooms, the Ministry of Education is also making sure that the school entire ecosystem is also fully vaccinated too, and not just the teachers, the staff, the janitors, the security, the canteen operators, including the transporters as well.
And it's no mean feat, says the country's education minister.
Bukan sesuatu yang mudah. Dengan murid melebihi 5 juta orang, guru hampir 500,000 orang, sekolah lebih daripada 10,000 buah sekolah di seluruh negara, maka kami perlu membuat persediaan rapi dan memastikan keseluruhan ekosistem pendidikan itu bersedia.
While some parents and children were hesitant, some 2,000 teachers were said to have refused to be vaccinated.
Kalau anak itu tak setuju atau bapa yang tak setuju, dia menghadapi diskriminasi oleh sekolah, college, pentadbir, kementerian dan hilang hak belajar seperti dulu. Di mana letak adilnya?
Still, pediatricians argue that parents should let their children take the vaccines instead of being unduly worried of potential side effects such as heart inflammation.
The incidence of getting myocarditis from being vaccinated against the COVID infection is 62.8 per million. However, if you were to get COVID, the risk of getting myocarditis is 450 per million. That's about 6 to 7 times higher than if you were to get it from the vaccine.
There's even an online petition to mandate vaccination for all teachers and caregivers.
I think you cannot force upon people to get vaccinated, but they do have a choice. And if you don't want to get vaccinated for COVID, perhaps you shouldn't work with children.
Vaccine hesitancy among parents and students alike continues to be a challenge. So it's no surprise that there have been growing calls urging the government to make it mandatory to vaccinate school-going children before a new school year begins next year. Melissa Go, CNA, Kuala Lumpur.